Globally, healthcare is emitting about 2 gigatons of CO2 every year. This is really an amazing number, and that's why this deserves closer attention. 2 gigatons of CO2 is substantial. It's the same as marine transport globally. And if healthcare would be a country, it would be the 5th largest emitter in the world. Moreover, climate change is creating issues for health, global health of people, which in turn puts pressure on the healthcare sector. So that's one more reason to help healthcare to curb emissions. So let's start with the basics. If you look at CO2 emissions, we typically divide emissions into scopes. Scope 1 is the direct emissions from the activity of the sector, so like the buildings and the transport of the activity. Scope 2 is the first category of indirect emissions, which is more related to the energy that is consumed by the sector. Scope 3 are also indirect emissions from the activities upstream and downstream of the activity, like employees commuting to the office, or downstream, an example is the effect of the products that are created by the company. BeaconMedaes is part of the Atlas Copco group, and therefore we are committed to substantially reduce the emissions of Scope 1, 2 and 3. At BeaconMedaes, we offer a full portfolio of products to help us in our ambition to always supply the patient. First, we have our source equipment. This consists first of compressed air and dryers to help with medical air and instrument air. We have our vacuum systems that help with drainage of wounds, but also the evacuation of waste anesthesia gases. And then our on-site oxygen generator systems. We also have a full portfolio of pipeline products that help us to distribute the medical gases throughout the facility, which starts with the manifolds. Then we have the alarms, we have zone valve boxes and line valves, and finally the outlets that are close to the patient. We also have a portfolio of bedheads and pendants, and at the point of use we have flow meters and suction regulators, and then a list of accessories that is growing. We have expertise and dedicated teams to perform the installation of this medical equipment. And then finally, when the equipment is in use, we have the full portfolio of aftermarket solutions to make sure that the equipment stays fit, which is our uptime part of the ladder. We make sure that the equipment stays compliant by doing inspections and verifications, but also by training the staff that is working with the medical equipment. And then we have our asset management module in MyMedGas to make sure that the complete overview is kept by our own operations, but also by the hospitals. And we call this set of solutions our medical ladder. In healthcare, the first set of emissions come from Scope 2. This is about energy consumption in the building. Scope 2 consists of 40% of emissions in healthcare. If we want to tackle Scope 2, it's all about energy savings and reducing pressure drops. In the medical ladder of BeaconMedaes, we have many opportunities to help healthcare to save emissions on Scope 2. We have the most efficient compressors and dryers, the most efficient vacuum systems, and then the smartest control systems to make sure that those systems operate in ideal circumstances. We have our on-site oxygen generator systems, which also help to save energy because of their efficiency, and which are a very nice alternative to transporting cylinders to and from the facility. In our pipeline portfolio, we have our manifolds, where with smart algorithms we make sure that we extend the lifetime of cylinders to reduce the number of times we have to change over cylinders. But we also have systems to monitor pressure drops throughout the complete system to eliminate waste there too. And then finally, in our aftermarket, we have our MedGas scan. With MedGas scan, we can look for leakages, and every leakage we can eliminate is again energy saving and therefore less emissions emitted by healthcare. This is close to our core, and we continue to develop even more solutions. When it comes to Scope 1, which is about 13% of the emissions in hospitals, we also have solutions. Basically there, for medical gases, we look at the chimneys of the hospital. One of the chimneys is connected to vacuum, and in this vacuum we have waste anesthesia gases, like laughing gas and then fluorines. These waste anesthesia gases are highly potent greenhouse gases. The good thing is that in our medical ladder we also have solutions for that. We have developed vacuum abatement solutions to capture laughing gas and to capture waste anesthesia gases. And then we have the aftermarket solutions too, where we are monitoring those vacuum abatement solutions and where we are maintaining them. At BeaconMedaes, we are committed to help healthcare by offering the widest portfolio of solutions to always supply the patient. At BeaconMedaes, we also understand that life is in the details. So we also look at the environmental impact of healthcare and come with solutions to help healthcare to curb their emissions. If you want to know how, please reach out to BeaconMedaes, and together we can find a solution to reduce the CO2 emissions of healthcare operations.